Hi everyone, welcome to another day of the 100-day challenge, and today we are going to make paper beads, and we're going to make them from scratch. You may wonder what is with this less loved scrapbook paper. I have 2 sheets of this. I have a whole bin of much less loved scrapbook paper, and I use it for painting projects or as backgrounds or for collage basis, and that way I am using it up and I'm not using my good stuff. So what we are going to create is beads for the spine of the journal that I'm creating. So here's the journal, and when I'm binding the signatures in here, I would like to bind it with beads along the base or along the spine. And in order to achieve that, I need different beads. And the only way that I can think of that I'm going to find the beads that I want is to create them. So we're making paper beads, and they need to match the journal, of course. So I have some paints here to paint this up. I have some crackle paste. I have mixed the crackle paste with the fresco finish chalk acrylics from Paperartsy, and I've used the chalk one, which is really white, and then I am using claret, and I am using this Sussex paint because it probably won't dry as fast as what the Paperartsy paints do, and I have the gold from Paperartsy because there is no better. So let me put these aside. And I'll put this aside because I don't need it. The bonus with the fresco paint is that you can use it straight on paper. You don't need any special paper, so you can, like, it won't warp the paper. I am going to, so that's why I'm going to start with a layer of the claret, and I'm just going to cover the whole thing. You see, I am very carefully putting this on here. I want a good layer on there so that it covers all these beautiful stripes, and they won't show very much anyway once you're creating beads, but I want to have them as little shown as possible. And this is going to give me a beautiful matte finish. Kind of chalky, kind of beautiful. It is almost like a gesso that you're using on your paper. And I will go through this twice because I don't know how much I am going to need, and I will put some of these beads in my stash as well. I want to make littler beads, not gigantic ones, because I do want to have it shown that it is beads. I think that's what I want to do. Don't hold me to it because I might change my mind as I am making the beads and cutting them. All right, I am going to go over it with do I want to do gold first or blue first? I think I want to do blue first. And I'm going to once again be very careful. And I'm just putting little dots of paint here and there. And scraping over it. I just want a little bit of the blue showing. I don't need it to be covered. I just want a little bit of blue, I want a little bit of claret, I want a little bit of gold, and then I want it to be crackled, or I'm hoping that it'll crackle. I am never very successful with the crackle, but I keep trying. Definitely want to do the edges because that is mostly of what you're going to see for the beads. But maybe I'll have enough to make some backgrounds for some other things as well. And this I will not put on the other paper because this is just plain acrylic paint and I don't think it'll dry as flat and quick as the other one. Now I'm going to add some gold, and once again very carefully applying the gold. And you can see I want lots. I want this to all be wet. I think the more wet I have on here, the better it will show on for my crackle paste. All right, so we have all the paint applied, and now I am going to apply the crackle paste, which I've mixed with chalk, with the chalk paint. So I'm going to put a nice layer on here. I hope this works. Otherwise I've just wasted a whole lot of supplies. It's never a waste. You're learning to do different techniques and seeing maybe what you shouldn't be doing. Okay. And this needs to dry. You cannot, and I say that firmly, you cannot use your heat gun on crackle paste. It doesn't work. If you are doing that, it will not crackle the way it will when you are letting it dry overnight. So this is definitely going to be a multi-day video. I cannot do anything with it until this is completely dry. So I'm just going to move it aside and create my other one. But by the time you see me, it's all dry and we are creating beads. We'll see you in a little bit. This did not do what I wanted it to do. There's only a couple of crackles on here, but nothing like I was hoping. No, there's another piece here. But nothing like what I was hoping for. This is what I was hoping for, that it would have the big crackles like it has right here, where you can see the bottom paint through it. It is what it is. This is what has come out of it, and this is what we are going to be working with. It will still work for the journal. It's just too bad that it's not completely crackled. But then all we are doing with it is creating beads anyway. I don't know if you've ever made paper beads. I've been working on it for a little bit because I had some other papers that I did as well. And I've made some of these. They're so cute and pretty. And I really like them. So let's make some more. These I'm going to make a little bigger than what these were. These were made with measuring 1/2 inch, and I think I'm going to do this 1/2 and 1/2. This I'm going to measure 3/4 of an inch for one half and 1 inch for the other half. So how I'm going to do that is by turning the paper upside down and using my ruler and measuring. Just going to move it a little bit down so you can see better. So this is where the half is. I'm just going to make a bigger part, and then I am measuring 1 inch increments right here. And right here I am going to measure 3/4 of an inch. No, that's not 3/4 of an inch. That is 3/4 of an inch. Right there. And then I'm going to do the same at the bottom part. So again, I will measure the centerpiece right there. Take it up a little bit. And now we are going to go in the center of these. So we're going to go on right there, because what you want to create is long triangle strips. I'm just moving it over a little bit. 3/4, 3/4, 3/4, 3/4, 3/4, 3/4, and 3/4. That makes perfect sense to me. So now I am going to cut. It's actually very simple. So you're just going to cut from line to line, and I need this to be turned around. I have my big knife. Right there. And I forgot to cut right there. So you will lose a little piece, but that's okay. So this is what you're making, is long strips that are really small at the top and they are wide at the bottom. And I'll show you again. Now it goes pretty quickly because you just go up, down, up, down, up, down. And you can make these beads in all different shapes and sizes, which is really cool. Come on. I don't want to waste too much of the paper. But because we're at such a narrow piece now, it just keeps flipping out from under my ruler. There we go. It'll work. It'll work. It'll do. So I don't have very many pieces left, which is perfect. I need some glue. I have my glue. And if you are not very comfortable with rolling this, you can use either a pin or you can use like one of these thingies and get it started. I don't like using any of that. I like to just sit there. I'm just going to put this away. There. I prefer to roll it like this. You just roll it between your fingers. And every now and again, you have to adjust it. There we go. Glue works better when the lid is off of it. I will put a little bit of glue in there so that it will stay. There we go. And then I will put a strand of glue, string of glue, bead of glue, whatever you want to call it, right along the whole piece. And then I'm trying to get it to be straight. And then we just roll it. It's so not going straight for whatever reason. It's supposed to storm tonight. So I can feel it. You can feel it coming on. And the wind is picking up. So I love doing this, just sitting by the TV and rolling beads. You know, you put on a movie and there's not a lot of work involved in it. It's just rolling paper, playing with glue. And there we go. There's the bead. That's one. So about 30 or some here to go. I'll show you another one. So we just start rolling it. And there is tools that are made for it. I don't have a tool for it. So I am just rolling it between my fingers. There. Put a little glue right there. And get rolling, rolling, rolling. Okay. And trying to get it as centered as you possibly can. It just makes it look nicer when the bead is even and not totally lopsided. And with the paint, it feels like it is going lopsided, but then when you look at it, it really is not. I think I have it upside down for me now. Yeah, here we go. And they're cute, fat little beads. And I have my needle here. I just want to make sure that the needle will go through. Yep, there we go. There's another one. So this one is probably the 1 inch. Yeah, and this must be the 3/4 inch. Yep. So one's a little, so now we have a 3/4 inch, 1 inch, and 1/2 inch. So we have different size beads. I'll hold it up a little closer. Different size beads that we can use for many different things. You can make it for dangles too at the bottom of your journal. You just put an eye pin through and little loop, and you can hang it off of a paper clip or something, and it's just cute. So you will see them come back if there's lots left in the rest of the journal and not just on the spine. I will show you a couple more, and then I'll show you the final results after I have rolled all of them. I will not bore you to death by sitting here rolling them on camera. Plus it feels really weird to do this at my table. Put a little glue in there. There we go. Bead of glue all the way along, and this way it stays nice and tight together. So tell me what you think of this idea. Do you like this idea? Is there something else you would like to see? Do you have any ideas for me to use in my journal? I can use your suggestions. Let's see what else you think that I should be using in my journal. Is there a technique that you want to see me try? Here you go. Oh, it's just my hand. And I have to redo my nails too. That is my job tomorrow, is to get my nails redone. You can see I started another one just to make sure that you see how I do this. I don't know if you do it any different. If you do, let me know. How do you do it? Go, and then just roll it up. I'm using quite a bit of pressure to make sure that it is as tight as I can possibly get it. So there's another one. 2 at a time. Will it fit? Oh yeah. You can't see it right there. You see two side by side will fit perfectly, so I can definitely put 2 signatures in my journal with the beads on the back. Okay, I'm just going to take this away and finish making the beads, and then I'll be back. They are all done. I am so happy. It has taken me an entire day to make them, but they are gorgeous. Look at these. Look at the colors on this. This is from another paper that I had made. Didn't do it on video. I have the paper right here. Let me zoom out a little bit. This is just a half paper that I have. I didn't do any crackle paint on it or crackle medium. I just put paint to paper and let it dry. It's a pretty thick layer, but I really like it, and that has created these beads. I'll grab a bunch of them and you can see how they are all different. Every single one of them looks different, yet you can tell that they belong together. I hope you enjoyed this video. I really do. I had a lot of fun making this, and it is very short and sweet. I could have made it a lot longer, of course, but I didn't want to bore you to death. This is not a very complicated project, but it is a project that is very interesting to do. What I might still do is put a little bit of gold here on the edges of these because they seem so dark, and that is because they were made out of the brown paper bag. Thank you for watching this video. I had a lot of fun making it. I hope you had a lot of fun watching it. And don't forget to give me a thumbs up. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you can see when I am ready to bind that journal together. Thanks for watching. Have yourselves a wonderful day. Thank you. Bye.